is, running it down on these niggas.
Sex, drugs, money, and murder, my nigga. You know how we did it, my nigga. Still be painting them bitches, my nigga. Ripping that roll and fucking your bitches. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. 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 Niggas, they never gon' hurt you. Niggas, they never will hurt you. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. Sex, drugs, money, and murder.
Got the trap spot, understand how to get that. Ran down on them niggas with a flip back. Knew I never seen another nigga live like that. I was still getting stacks back. Had to fuck around getting them packs back. Niggas.
What y'all saying? Relevant though? I don't feel like he's relevant. I just feel like he got
none
a
of them are
fan.
relevant.
Man,
I don't feel like
rap.
Nas is relevant. I don't feel like
Coogee Rap and Kane dropped the project, and that shit was ass.
Hold on. Who said none of them are
One
relevant?
mic, one mic, one mic,
not relevant.
bro.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
No, he's not. He's not relevant. He just has a loyal ass fan base.
Thank you.
He just has a loyal fan base and he still make good ass music. But
They don't
like
have a core fan base,
relevant,
bro.
what?
Mr. 21 Savage, no disrespect. Just want to know, what would make you get on your clubhouse and say Nas is not relevant? Because they ain't shooting nobody, killing nobody, selling no drugs, got women twerking, disrespecting nobody. That's why he's not relevant. And on trap music, what makes him not relevant? He's not relevant to you, or he's not relevant to us. I don't understand. Like, I don't know where this thing come where we never disrespected or talked down to people that came before us. They are heroes. Like, I don't know where that changed, where that's supposed to be a thing. Like, I just don't understand how somebody could say something like that with a straight face and be serious. All right, this man put so much work in, and it's at some point, at some way, you look down at that like that's not a good thing. Like, that's not a place you're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Like, that was a bad statement. All right, but this is the divide that happens between people. Everybody should just do what they do, make music, and enjoy themselves, man, and have fun, man, and leave your comments to yourself. I don't care about no top fives, and there's no top five to me, okay? I don't care about any of that. Young or old, made no difference. If your music is hot, that's all that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? But disrespecting people and that really put the work in, and it's just your opinion. It's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, but it's a disrespectful thing to somebody that really put the work in. Somebody like Nas, like, is revered as one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? I put an album out myself called The Love this year, and I'm not talking about killing nobody or shooting nobody or any of those things. You know what I'm saying? I think I have one of the best albums this year. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just gotta, there's nothing wrong with being different. There's nothing wrong with, just because it's different, it doesn't mean it's old school. If you heard my freestyle I put up there, I said that's the first line I put out. Just because it's different, it's not the same thing as everybody else, doesn't mean it's old school or it's not relevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nas is very relevant. Just because you don't listen to him, I'm sure there's people that don't listen to you, right? I play your music. I like Bank Account a lot, right? But, I like a lot of Nas records too. So, I don't know. But just like I said, you're entitled to your opinion. But when you put that narrative out there, it makes it seem like the older ones or the elder statesmen are not capable. And that's what my song, The Business, is about on my album, The Love. I'm about to drop that video too, so you can see that. And it shows that, you get somebody like Nas on stage that ripped down so many places, I don't know. Not relevant? That's a bit strong. I'm sure you meant well. I hope you meant well. I don't know if you meant well, but continue doing what you're doing, man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Bullis Gotti. So, this video right here, I'm addressing the whole Nas irrelevant conversation that 21 Savage had in Clubhouse. Shout out to the homie Trap Bradshaw. It was in his room, ADHD. I used to go in his room a lot when I used to be on Clubhouse frequently. You know, great conversations. I've been in there with Knife Wonder, Joe Buttons, Race the 5'9". Mad people pulls up in Trap Room. So they was having a conversation about Nas being the greatest. And 21 Savage said that Nas is irrelevant and he just got a loyal fan base. Well, let me say this, right? Nas is not irrelevant. Yes, Nas has a loyal fan base, but he's not irrelevant. And I'm going to tell you why he's not irrelevant. You know why? Because Nas has been in the game since 1992, right? But before that, because he came in the game in 91, which is 31 years ago, right? But in 1992, his first single dropped, which was Halftime, right? On the Zebrahead soundtrack, right? And from there on, Illmatic dropped in 94, shut the whole rap game down 28 years ago, right? And there has not been a rapper yet that could top Illmatic. That could top what Nas was writing at the age of 17, going on 18 and 19 and 20. He was 20 when Illmatic dropped. When he did Halftime, he was 17, going on 18, right? And when he did Live at the Barbecue, which was in Back to the Grill again, but Live at the Barbecue was in 91. He was like 16, 17 years old. Nas was young. You know what I'm saying? He was young. So being a young dude coming in the game, like how Nas was, and having New York on your back, being called the second coming of Rakim, there's never been another rapper that has ever compared to him. I always say it's Pac and it's Nas. Like them two is the catalyst of every great rapper, because every rapper that has come in the game will tell you Nas, Pac, Nas, Pac, Nas, Pac. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when they talk about G-Rap and they talk about Rakim and Big Daddy Kane or LL, Slick Rick, you know what I'm saying? KRS-One. It's the same thing when Nas and Tupac name is mentioned. Those two is the most respected and the most revered artists in hip-hop history. It's just what those two did in the industry. You know, Pac was a trailblazer. I don't care what nobody says. I love Big. Big was dope. But there's nobody has trailblazed like Tupac Shakur and set the tone in the industry and set the tone in the game. Nas is another one. He set the tone. He changed the trajectory of an East Coast artist and basically made it cool for storytelling and the slow flow. He made the slow flow and the storytelling cool, and every rapper after Nas basically followed his style, followed his blueprint. Same with Tupac, you know. So when it comes to this whole irrelevant conversation, it's like, how can a man be irrelevant? 16 albums, Grammy winner, you know. Nas is still legendary. There's no artist I have seen did a song backwards. There's no artist that has made a song about a gun. There's no artist that has done anything that Nas has done. This dude changed the trajectory, you know, changed the trajectory of hip-hop. King's Disease 3 is a great album. I love King's Disease 3. I think King's Disease 3 is one of the best albums ever to be brought in the conversation. Nas showed everyone that reinvention is the best thing. He always talks about reinvention. Nas always reinvented himself. You know, when he told you, it's always though that I'm moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, he always told y'all about reinvention when he did Stillmatic. You know, when he did, you know, I Am, he was reinventing himself. Nostradamus, he was reinventing himself. Each time you look at Nas, it's reinvention. Nobody has reinvented himself how Nas has reinvented himself as an artist. You know, so to say he's irrelevant, that's cap. That's cap. That's cap, because if Nas was so irrelevant, he wouldn't be on YG's album. He wouldn't be on a lot of young artists' albums. He wouldn't have a lot of young artists on his projects. You know, when it comes to 21 Savage, he's very irrelevant. 21 Savage hasn't been popping since, you know, Bank Account, and then he fell off. The J. Cole record was a boost because he was going through his trial, you know, with the whole deportation thing, you know, and then it's like, okay, getting deported, and then, you know, you dealing with that, and then it's like you got Jay-Z coming out for the aid of him, and basically, you know, the whole Donald Trump is involved in the BS, and it's like, come on, bro, your claim to fame and your success is, let's look, you is a deportee, right? You got deported. You know, you were getting deported back to the UK. Okay? Nobody in hip hop, like, let's keep it real, right? We're not hearing people saying, oh, 21 Savage is a GOAT. No, we're not hearing that. You know, if it wasn't for Drake, and I'm gonna keep it real, Drake, this is a facts. You know, if it wasn't for Drake, and I'll tell this to anybody, if it wasn't for Drake getting this man, because let's keep it real, when the last time 21 Savage dropped the album? 2018? It's 2022. He hasn't dropped the album since 2018. 21 Savage is 2017, 2018. You know? Yeah, he did the Savage Mode joint, but with Metro Boomin, but nobody's really checking for that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was really checking for that. You know, he did the thing that the Her Laws joint, and I'm gonna keep it real. It saved homie's career. This is a fact. Like, Drake went and got him, you know what I'm saying? With 21 Savage was on Clubhouse, bruh. Son was on Clubhouse. That was his thing. You was a Clubhouse nigga. You wasn't even a relevant rapper. Your relevancy was like, okay, 21 Savage is not even in a conversation. This is seriously. Like, Drake gave him a boost. Like, the same thing he gave Dirk that boost, he gave 21 Savage that boost. Let's keep it real. The same way he gave Little Dirk a boost, he gave 21 Savage a boost. He gave 21 Savage a boost. This is the biggest press 21 Savage got in a long time. He has not gotten this type of press as an artist. This Nas and the whole thing with him doing the record with Drake, the album, he didn't get no press. All people was knowing was Whack 100 punking him on Clubhouse, him arguing with 6ix9ine, you know, him being on Math Hoffa show, but it's like, nigga, you ain't got no real music out. Nobody really checking for your projects. And it's not coming off as a hater, it just is what it is. Nobody's checking for him. You know what I'm saying? The biggest popping artist out of his city, out of Atlanta, you know, besides the Migos, is Lil Baby. YFN Lucci is more relevant than 21 Savage. Young Thug is more relevant than 21 Savage, even Gunna. I'm just saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Baby is more relevant, even though the Baby fell off, but the Baby is more relevant than 21 Savage. Son needed that boost from Drake. Like, he needed that boost from Drake. Like I said, he was relevant. He was popping in 2017, 2018. Yeah, that's 2017, 2018. But he fell off after that. He fell off. He fell off. Yeah, he did the album Metro Boomin. Okay, it did what it did, but it flopped. It was a big flop. Yeah, it was a #1 album. Yeah, it had 1 million streams, but it sold 171,000 units. The album flopped. The joint with him and Metro Boomin. It flopped. You know what I'm saying? And this is not coming off of no hate. It's just what it is, dogs. Like, son, nobody checking for homie, bro. Until Drake went and grabbed homie up and said, yo, let's do this album. Nobody was checking for Young Thug for 21 Savage. It's the facts. You know what I'm saying? Son ain't, it's like Lil Yachty. Like, Lil Yachty said all that corny. It's like niggas ain't checking for Lil Yachty no more. That's why Lil Yachty doing acting and all that. Because nobody's checking for him. You know, when I look at Lil Baby's popping out of his city. He's popping out of Atlanta. Niggas can't tell me he's not. You know what I'm saying? Dude ain't have a whack album yet. Son doing it what it do. His streaming is crazy. Everything about Lil Baby is different. So when it comes to 21 Savage, dogs, you irrelevant. You're very, like, he's irrelevant. Like, it's nothing relevant about 21 Savage. Nigga, Drake had to go pick you up from Clubhouse, nigga. Drake had to go get this nigga off of Clubhouse and get this nigga in the studio to make some music. He only got that #1 album because he had Drake on the album. If he didn't have Drake on the album, would people care about a 21 Savage album? No. His publicity was like, okay, he has a little publicity on the whole deportation thing, and then, you know, him beefing with Wack. It was like, okay, dog, your career in the toilet, bro. You on Clubhouse every day and night. Doing versus rooms. Doing Cash App rooms. With a bunch of groupie bitches and struggling rappers trying to get heard. We know you not popping as an artist no more because you wouldn't be doing none of that. If you were popping artist, you wouldn't be on Clubhouse. Roddy Ricch ain't on Clubhouse. Lil Baby ain't on Clubhouse. You know? Drake ain't on Clubhouse. Offset ain't on Clubhouse. Let's keep it real. Popping artists is not on there. Failed artists is. Young Thug was looking, I'm not gonna front, Young Thug was looking cold out here. He was on Clubhouse. Let's keep it real. Until he got locked up, he was on Clubhouse promoting a dude's streaming service. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's no knock. When a dude say, yo, Nas ain't relevant, you gotta listen to who's talking, bruh. Cause dog, you definitely is not relevant. Like, we already know you not gonna be on a level of a Nas, bro. You're not going to be on that top 10 in that conversations 30 years from now, and people saying, yo, 21 Savage with it. No. A lot of these dudes are not gonna be in the conversation. It's only a few dudes in this era that I'll say that be in a conversation, right? When it comes to music, right? Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, you know, Drake. You could add a Tory Lanez in there. You know, you could add a Little Baby and you know, Rowdy Rich. Other than that, it's nobody else that's gonna be in that conversation. You know, and the Griselda boys. But other than that, it's nobody else that's gonna be in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you're not Drake, you not Lil Baby, you not Rowdy Rich, or Cole and Kendrick. Like, let's keep it real. Who's checking for y'all? Cause those dudes I named, yeah, them dudes is doing serious numbers. You know what I mean? People say what they want. Like I said that about Fabio Foreman. Like, Fabio Foreman is irrelevant to me. Compared to Pop Smoke and the 6ix9ine, they did better than him, and they on their worst day, on their best and worst day. And the same thing with 21 Savage. Dude, you had a buzz in 2017, 2018, and you had a buzz for being deported, and Jay-Z came to your aid. After all of that, it's like, dogs, nobody cares about a 21 Savage. I don't hear people out here feeling and say, yo, 21 Savage, 21 Savage, yo, we want a 21 Savage album. We waiting for a 21 Savage album. Like, come on, bro. He had a wave in like I said, he had a wave in 2018, 2017, 2019, and a little bit of 2020. And after that, it's like, we don't care about you, dogs. That's why his other projects flopping, and he did this one with the homie Drake, who gave him that stimmy. Drake gave these niggas a stimulus package. Drake gave him a stimulus package to save his career, to save him as an artist. He saved him as an artist. If Drake didn't do Her Loss, he could have did Her Loss with Lil Baby. He could have did it with Tory Lanez. He could have did it with Rowdy Rich. He could have did it with Brent Faiyaz. He could have did it with Bryson Tiller. He didn't have to do it with 21 Savage. But 21 Savage ain't bubbling and he ain't popping, so he gave him a stimmy. He gave him the Drake, I call it the Drake stimulus package. He gave him that, and that saved him. Nigga, that album would not sell if it didn't have Drake on it. The performance wouldn't do what it did if it didn't have Drake on it. People not listening to that album because of 21 Savage is on it. They listening to it because Drake is on it. People is listening to King Disease 3 because Nas. Because of Nas, bro. And I know he's doing that for the publicity for the album with him and Drake, but let's keep it real, bro. People not listening to you. They listening to Drake. Drake is who they paying to hear. That's who they streaming. They not streaming to hear you. Nas did that album all by himself with a lack of promotion. He's doing it all by himself with Hit Boy. And came out with a classic. Been in the game 30 plus years and still killing these young boys. Niggas say he ain't got like Jay-Z can't even mess with him. None of these dudes can mess with him. That's why when you get dudes that say asinine comments like Nas is irrelevant, nigga, you was irrelevant, dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I know because I was on Clubhouse and been in his room quite a few times. And like I said, man, you go in some views, you go in some room, like, dog, you go in his room, you actually go in his room, dog, it's like you could see, like, dude is really irrelevant out here. Because if he was really popping, as an artist, he wouldn't have to go to get Drake. Drake would have to go snatch him up. Drake did him a favor to snatch him up. That's why right now he feeling it. He feeling the way he feeling because, dog, you got the ill cosign from Drake.
You said you were open about.
Drake gave you that ill cosign. You know what I'm saying? You up there, you getting the press. Like, when the last time you heard 21 Savage in the press? You ain't hear him in the press since that whole situation with him getting deported and Jay-Z came to the rescue. It's the only time you heard him on the press. Other than that, you don't hear people talking about 21 Savage in the press. Now you hearing them talk about, because look, Drake came and snatched him. Like I said, man, Nas don't need that, man. Nas could drop when he want to drop, and people gonna rock with Nas. You know why? Because Nas is the GOAT. Nas shut it down. Nas ain't irrelevant. Homie, you irrelevant. Because you needed Drake to give you a stimmy pack so you can come out with this album. If Drake didn't pull him up, I'm going to keep it real, bro. He would just be on Clubhouse gossiping and doing Cash App rooms and verses. That's it. And that's the moral to the story. 21 Savage is irrelevant. Without Drake, 21 Savage is irrelevant. That's a fact. Nas is a GOAT. 21 Savage is irrelevant. Don't be mad cause you not on Nas level. And Nas is 49 years old, wrapping circles around these young boys, man. Gotta salute it, man. Without Khaled, without Drake, without all these other artists. But Drake is the most important one because he did a whole album with him. Without Drake, dog, who cares about 21? Let's keep it real.